This is literal propaganda.
Toward a new normal. Yeah.
Don't think, just play.
Don't think, just play. Oh, wow.
Considered that
No f***ing way. 60% of the studio is gay.
We're over 350 people, but 145 people were just added this year, and so we.
100. Okay, so a studio that's made $0 got 145 more people. Whoa, hold on. That's the fucking CEO. Oh my god, I'm tired of this fake shit. Damn, I hate you. I hate you all. Rope. I'm going to send it. I'm sending Rope to angry Joe. They're everywhere! Pink elephants are everywhere!
Sorry, you'll need to give me a minute. I'm mentally preparing to do hot ones again.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is a game that is supposed to be nostalgic, but they removed the very things that make it nostalgic. Levels have been removed, content has been removed, characters have been removed, 47 songs from the soundtrack have been removed. Iconic skaters were very noticeably missing from the game. The open world of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is now restricted by a 2-minute timer. You can't actually see the skateboard because this text is too large. Taco Bell is everywhere. They replaced a big beautiful cake with a big Red Bull. They turned an attractive woman into a double amputee. You had to buy the deluxe edition of the game to play the demo. That's right, you had to buy the game to play the demo. And the demo was broken. The CEO and founder of the game studio is bathing.
This is... it feels... Wait, am I... Wait a minute. I'm like, why is this fucked? Like, did he actually speed up the Street Fighter 3rd Strike music? No, we have still at 1.5 times speed. I'm like, something doesn't seem right here. Something doesn't seem right here. Hold on. I won't restart the whole video because I still understood most of that, but I'm like, this doesn't seem right somehow.
Nostalgic, but they removed the very things that make it nostalgic. Levels have been removed, content has been removed, characters have been removed, 47 songs from the soundtrack have been removed.
40, that's a lot, dude.
Skaters were very noticeably missing from the game. The open world of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is now restricted by a 2-minute timer. You can't actually see the skateboard because this text is too large. Taco Bell is everywhere. They replaced a big beautiful cake with a big Red Bull. They turned an attractive woman into a double amputee. You had to buy the deluxe edition of the game to play the demo. That's right, you had to buy the game to play the demo. And the demo was broken. The CEO and founder of the game studio is bathing in his LinkedIn profile. And the game director doesn't seem to know anything about games.
Can you comment on New Game Plus or Game Plus mode, whatever it's called? What's that? Is it like a new...
Oh my god, he doesn't know. How the fuck does a game director in current year not know what New Game Plus is? What the fuck?
A set of goals after you complete the first set of goals.
It's an interesting idea.
Is it?
Yeah.
Every day there was news about a feature being removed or...
Okay, so, I get the distinct feeling that guy is not actually the game director and that's just a fucking, like, nepotism higher position. He didn't do jack shit. There's no fucking way you don't know what that is. So who's the real game director?
Joke being censored, and I asked myself, who's making this game? It's a game studio that's only really made one game, a live service battle royale that got shut down.
I literally have never heard of that. I don't even fucking know what the hell Rumbleverse is. I've never even heard of that. Talk about failing upward. Holy shit.
After 6 months, and everybody got refunded. And when you look at their website, there's very little information about what they actually do as a company. But there are pages and pages of long, detailed profiles of the sexual identity and ethnic background of their employees.
Yeah.
Compare that to their one single web page about game development. And not only is this section extremely vague about what their actual role is with these games, it also purposefully excludes any information about their PC ports for The Last of Us and Arkham Knight. 2 games which are widely known to be the worst ports of all time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is objectively bad, but shockingly, 33 out of 33 major publications gave this game a rating of 8 out of 10 or higher. Every review on YouTube that you see of this game spends the majority of its time talking about the game's major flaws, but inexplicably gives it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And you don't see any comments from people saying that they like the game. You just see the same comment over and over again. I hope they remake Tony Hawk's Underground next. Because most people...
Yes, please talk about the botted comment problem, because everyone seemed to think I was a fucking schizo with my Fallout reviews. Please.
Who are buying games aren't even old enough to remember these games. They only really played the games that came later in the series. So who is buying this game? My name is Glenn Quagmire, and today I'm going to tell you why this game is propaganda. How does this game force you to change your behavior as a consumer? Why did they remove all of that content from the game? And
okay, this is a very strange transition. What? Yeah, this is... I did not think this video was taking this turn. Okay.
what did they replace it with? And most importantly, how many subliminal messages are in this game? I'm going to answer all of these questions.
This almost sounds like parody. Anyway, I got to get some more water anyway, so I'm going to go get water. But I am very intrigued. This is an hour and 20 minutes. Holy shit. We're not going to watch the whole thing. But we will watch some shit because, you know, is this another, you know, synth cell aligned type of channel? Maybe. I don't know.
A few moments later.
More on today's episode of Family Guy.
Hey, you guys.
All right.
Hey, Peter, look at this crippled 10-year-old boy.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen those in a while.
He's doing tricks in his wheelchair.
Holy wheels of fury riot. The 10-year-old skating madman. No more grinding on wood chippers, huh, Polly?
That's right, baby.
Isn't this entertaining?
Yes.
Oh, hey! Is that the new Tony Hawk's game? No, this is the original Tony Hawk series from the early 2000s. Oh, yeah. I was wondering why there was no ray tracing. How the hell did a game like this get so popular? This was more than a game, small dude. It was a cultural phenomenon.
Teen pregnancy rates dropped to all-time low. Because now guys have something better to do. It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Dude, ads back in the day. I miss ads like that, man. Like, that's what we need, more fucking ads like that, because at least they catch your fucking attention. Like, oh shit, like I have to pay attention because they just said something crazy. I was just like that. That's a good ad. They don't even make good ads anymore. They don't, because they know you're all fucking retards. You'll buy it anyway. You know, you'll buy it anyway. You fucking bitch. You goddamn consumer slop trash.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Back in the day, you're like, dude, yeah, wow, radical. You know, this game is better than sex. You know, it's like, oh my god. I have to play it then.
Available now.
The Tony Hawk's games introduced counterculture to an entire generation of 10-year-old white boys. Like you, for example. Whoa, I nearly forgot that I was a professional skateboarder back in the day. It's like I was an entirely different person back then. This may be a skateboarding game, but it had a significant role in creating a new male identity. Since the dawn of time, there was conventional masculinity. Conventional masculinity emphasized
is that intentional? When did this come out? 2 weeks ago. I just find that funny, given the... Never mind.
Competition, domination, and hierarchy.
Rest in peace,
but somewhere in the late 90s to the early 2000s, alternative masculinity was invented. Alternative masculinity celebrated individualism, creativity, and non-conformity. It was still aggressive male behavior, but that aggression was being articulated through humor and self-expression. 84% of skaters were male, so it was undeniably a male-dominated interest. But it's not just skate culture that shaped this alternative male identity. Popular media of this era as a whole was challenging traditional male archetypes. Masculinity was still masculine, but there was an emotional aspect to it more than just a physical aspect. This truly was a time when the freaks
John
and geeks
Carmack.
of society took
Hell
control.
yeah.
This was a time for nerds with attitude. This is the real NWA. These games were an original concept created by a passionate team of artists. You can see it in the menu design. You can see it in the stylization of text, the characters. I mean, look at how many characters they include in one game. It's not an obligation to create. They clearly just have an abundance of ideas. The environments, the gameplay, the sound design. None of that existed until these developers created it. There was no skateboarding game.
Yeah, I mean, it's so simple. They just wanted to make good games. They wanted to make a good game. Modern devs do not want to make a good game, and no amount of them fucking trying to gaslight us is going to change that fucking fact, okay? And yeah, I know people say, well, the publisher wants blah, 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 all this garbage in the game. That's probably true. But I guarantee, with some talented fucking people at the head, they could still make a good game, even with all the shitty-ass requirements that they're probably forced to shove in the game.
Games, and then there was. That's what makes these games more than just a tech demo. It's an artistic accomplishment. So we're playing these games on the PS2, not because it has the best technology available, but because it has soul.
Soul.
Forget about this old crap. There's a new game in town, and it's superior in every conceivable way. Tony Hawk's Remastered is in 4K, and it got a 9 out of 10 rating on IGN, so that's how you know that it's good.
Whoa.
Oh, here it comes. Okay, looks good, looks good.
Wow, that looks pretty bad.
What are you talking about, Peter? It's in 4K. Yeah, I think Peter's trying to say that it looks bad because it doesn't look fun. Every video game right now is trying to be realistic, and hardly any games are innovating on style, personality, or even...
I do love, it's probably intentional, but just like pulling up videos of full cutscene movie. Because yeah, why even play these fucking games? Just watch the goddamn cutscene compilation. Are the games even fucking fun to play? I know some people thought God of War Ragnarok was fun to play. Whatever. Fuck you. Eat shit and die. Anyway, no. But seriously, you're playing these fucking Sony games for the story. That's why you're playing them. So why even spend the money? Just watch the fucking full cutscene video that somehow these fuckers managed to get out day one, because of all the fucking people you give out review codes to, you give them out to the people who spoil the entire game the first day? What kind of fucking marketing plan is that, dude? That sounds retarded to me. You think you make more sales uploading every cutscene day one the game comes out? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. This is retard shit. Like, why do people... Never mind. I'm rambling about random ass shit again. Whatever. I'm getting annoyed. I hate video games. I hate modern video games. I hate them.
on style, personality, or even gameplay.
You got it.
But I will admit, Peter, this game is a lot more fun than it looks.
Oh, yeah?
You want to play some game with some crippled guy in a wheelchair, but you don't want to play Tony Hawk's in 4K?
Yes. If all artistic expression was judged based on how realistic it is, then every museum in the world would have paintings that look like this. But we do not value creativity based on how accurately it can replicate real life. We value creative works based on how it makes us feel. Abstractions allow us to use our imagination. We create meaning inside of our own heads. Abstract images allow us to access a part of our brains that we cannot access in the real world. It allows us to see inside a new world and to have new thoughts and ideas.
I can definitely see why chat suggested a video like this. The schizophrenia is like so just lurking off of this. So hardcore, but it is well made. Like, I have to respect, this video is much, much higher quality than anything I've ever made. But it is like inherently off-putting how mentally unstable the person is who made this. You know what I mean? like if you're even slightly normal, you're like, this guy ain't right. I don't think I could handle being around someone like this. This.
You're telling me this game isn't fun? You don't like zipping around as Tony Hawk?
No way.
No, the game is fun.
Really?
Well, of course it is. It's a remaster of an all-time classic. A lot of people thought this was fun the first time they released it.
My recollection is that it went extremely well.
So why wouldn't it be fun? That's the bare minimum of what I expect from this. But remaking a game at all is an inherently flawed and disingenuous concept. That's what I have a problem with. Remaking a game suggests that video games can become obsolete. It suggests that video games can become objectively out of date, and I fundamentally disagree with that. Quagmire, open your eyes, my brother! These games are so limited by the technology of the time. I mean, they look like total crap! Limitation doesn't impede greatness. Limitation facilitates greatness. Limitations and tools, with intentional design, create specific types of work. And that's what this is. This is a specific type of work made with the tools that were available. That's what everything is. It didn't fall short of its goal just because we invented new things later. This painting by Peter Bruegel from 1565 was made with oil paint and a wooden panel. The painting doesn't want to be a film. The painting doesn't want to be hyper-realistic. It wouldn't be better if it moved, and it wouldn't be better if it was in 3D. Just because we have the technology now does not make the original work limited. The existence of Photoshop does not make oil paintings obsolete. But what about games like Resident Evil?
It's just sad, though. Like, it doesn't matter how many times that you say something like that. There's still going to be people, even here in this fucking chat, I see it almost every time we play a new game. People be like, man, those graphics aren't that good. Man, this kind of looks like ass. It's like, dude, that's not the fucking problem. The problem is not, oh, those fucking bushes don't have enough fucking polygons or whatever the hell. The problem is, it's boring. It's fucking boring. You know what I mean? Again, it just ties into the realism shit. You know, the Mafia game, I mean, it felt like putting lipstick on a pig, where like the only notable thing about the game was the graphic quality. Everything else about it was shit. Everything else. And I don't care about it looking good. That means absolutely nothing to me. Games have looked good for a fucking real long ass time now. Everyone has different standards of what good is, but I'd say, you know, graphic quality peaked around 2015. It legitimately has not gotten noticeably better on average since 2015. There's been a handful of games that push graphics forward a little bit, but in 10 fucking years, the standard has not increased. Despite games, you know, taking more and, you know, having higher and higher system requirements to run them. You know, they do not look noticeably better than games 10 years ago.
Evil 1. That was a good remake, I'd say. That Resident was evil as hell. That remake was directed by the same team as the original version, okay? Let's not bring up outliers from 25 years ago for the sake of being obtuse. How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, hold on, I'll go back to this point. Oh.
That remake was directed by the same team. But what about games like Resident Evil 1? That was a good remake, I'd say. That Resident was evil as hell. That remake was directed by the same team as the original version, okay? Let's not bring up outliers from...
And it's also...
25 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's over 20 years ago and is still the greatest remake of all time. That in and of itself speaks volumes that we live in the era of remakes, and not one has sought to improve on every element of the original game. You know, not one. This is the shining example of a remake that tried to improve every aspect of the original version of the game. They don't do that. Not one fucking modern remake attempts to do that.
Sake of being obtuse. How dare you call me obtuse? I'm on a seafood diet. Remakes are designed to replace the original version.
I get it.
These games will get forgotten. They won't get ported and they won't get remastered. People say if you don't like the remaster, then just play the original version. But you know damn well that the original versions are not convenient to play. Most people will not be bothered to figure out how to get an emulator working, and anyone who didn't play the original games will just assume that it was a total...
See, I don't agree with this. There's a reason why in my Silent Hill 2 remake video that I called everyone retarded, because I figured out how to fucking get emulators to work when I was like 11 or 12 years old. Not even joking. I fucking had Visual Boy Advance on my fucking shitty ass, extremely like old dated desktop computer. I got fucking Visual Boy Advance to work. There's no fucking excuse.
Little pile of shit anyway, so they won't play it. But the game is more than just a collection of polygons, computer code, and controller inputs. A game is a collection of ideas. It may not be pretty, but that's how it was. These ideas have now been overwritten with new ideas of inclusivity, corporatism.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of agrees with me, but it's just, he fundamentally agrees, but it's the type of thought process where it's like he's being realistic, whereas I'm going to insult you and shame you because you deserve it and you should feel ashamed for yourself. It's a difference in how you spread the message. You know what I mean? Like, fundamentally, yes, he agrees with me, but people need to be shamed. They need to be shamed. Doesn't mean it's going to change their behavior, but I want you to know that you're a stupid, lazy fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fuck you. You know what I mean? That's the difference. I'm going to say fuck you. Get the fucking emulator, pussy.
New developers have different beliefs to the old developers. Therefore, the message of the new game is not the same as the message of the old game. If you remake a work of art and intentionally change its message as a replacement of the original work, you are rewriting history. That is propaganda. But yes, the gameplay of Tony Hawk's Remastered is pretty fun, and it's a lot more intuitive than the original version. What do you think, Peter?
This game was funded by Israel.
Wait, what? All right, why don't we just create our own character? That'll be fun, you know? We can make him look like Cleveland. Right. Oh my god, yes! I want to make Cleveland and Tony Hawk! Okay, what kind of mustache does Cleveland have? Yeah, he's got a big gray beard like Santa Claus. You need to scroll down. Wait, hold on. Where do you find the beards? Where are the beards?
No, stay out of there! No!
Oh my god! My character's a doctor! Your character's not a doctor. This is modern gaming's idea of a funny joke. A joke?
It's not a joke. It's a sick and twisted Easter egg created by Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Call it a joke. Call it
a... Created by Fauci. Yeah, we're still doing masks. We're still putting those in every game. Yeah, interesting.
An Easter egg, whatever you want to call it. This is something that the developers put in so that you would see it and you'd go, oh, how fun! What the hell is fun about this? It just reminds me of that time where everybody died.
Activision removed swastikas from a video game about World War II, but they incorporated a deeply polarizing and contentious government directive in a skateboarding game. These sick fucks want to brainwash you so badly. This has nothing to do with the Tony Hawk's video game series. This has nothing to do with skateboarding, or punk rock, or teenage angst. This is literal propaganda.
Toward a new normal. Yeah. Attention students who wish you and your families good health and safety during this... hold on. During this difficult time, with help from our community, we'll be working towards a new normal in the fall. A new normal. This is in the fucking game. A new... No, oh my god. I definitely would point that out in my video too. I would. I'm with Schizo guy. I would 100% talk about that shit if I was reviewing this.
Propaganda? Come on, Peter. That's just something that happens in shithole countries like China and Mexico and Northern Ireland. And anyway, they shut down the studio that made the Tony Hawk's games, so there won't be any more Tony Hawk's games.
Yay, that is such good news.
I don't know, Peter. This game is full of corporate bullshit, but it is pretty fun. Like, there's some soul in there. Deep down, they've kept the core thing that makes it fun in the first place. All things considered, it was decent. Well, I'm glad you love the game, Quagmire, because guess what? They made another one.
But you just said they shut down the studio that makes the games.
Yeah, no, they fired everybody who made that game. But then they hired these other guys who are known for making ports for the Nintendo Switch, and then they said those guys should make a new Tony Hawk's game. Tony Hawk's 3 and 4, let's freaking go! It's exactly like the original game, except better, because it's in 4K, and it has crazy characters. Does it have crazy characters? Okay, let's have a look at these characters then. We have all the classic skaters here, I see. Tony Hawk.
Jamie Thomas.
Rodney Mullen. Bam Margera. No, he's not him. You got Chloe Covell, the 15-year-old whiz kid. Nora Vasconce. Oh, it's gone. Well, Zion Wright. He's a black guy. That's pretty cool. Tyshawn Jones, black guy number 2. And keep him coming, I say. Nyjah Houston. Not sure what he...
Yeah, you know, when I think of the skating community, this is what I think of. That's interesting. Interesting choices for characters.
He is, Asian, maybe? Marjeline, well, that was definitely Asian. Oh my god. Oh, lettuce buffer. Back to the women again. These skaters are all included based on merit, by the way.
Yep.
Ordraline, you can tell by his rainbow t-shirt and his mouth gesture that this guy's definitely French. Oh, Quagmire, wait until you see this. Oh my god!
Oh my,
He's a skateboarder with no legs! What did I tell you? Tony Hawk still has that twisted sense of humor. That's not supposed to be funny. Oh, they know what they're doing. They know. It is wild that they didn't include Bam Margera, but they did get a guy with no legs.
Do I want the noob? Or do I want
a skateboarder with no legs?
Are you serious? You can't decide between me and a
skateboarder with no legs.
You want some of me?
I like that. He's fired up.
Okay, so you're not impressed with Activision. I get that. You think their games are blatant?
It used to be, you used to be able to make fun of cripples and no one gave a fuck. And now look what happens. You know, people who won't even buy a game will bitch and somehow get millions of impressions on Twitter. Somehow. Yeah, isn't that cool? Not that it would translate in any negative sales to the game. Every single person who intended to buy it would still buy it, even if they shit on cripples. But you know, that's just a typical propaganda shit. Don't want to lose any of that ESG score, gentlemen.
Cash grabs with paid DLC, microtransactions, pay-to-win elements, loot boxes, promoting gambling to children, games with a lack of polish, unfinished or unplayable on release. Sure! And of course, we all know about the time that they got sued for massive sexual harassment issues, guys getting drunk in the office and invading the women's bathroom, and then that woman took her own life because of the intense harassment and people circulated her nude photos at the Christmas party. Okay, I know that looks bad, but Tony Hawk's Remastered features the first ever transgender skateboarder.
It's really cool that they're showcasing a variety of different skateboarders. You know, like Aori's gonna be in it, Leticia, so like highlighting women, and me as like a queer skater, I think is really important, really important, really important, really important.
Yeah, really pulling off the being a man with that voice. I couldn't tell. I thought it was a dude, 100%.
Really important for who? Why is it really important that a queer person is in Tony Hawk's? So you're telling me that Activision, a company who merrily turns children into gambling addicts, exploits its customer base, and violates women sexually, they are your ally? You share the same values? Or are you both just self-interested parties who can mutually benefit from each other's influence, taking advantage of your abused customers to get more money for yourselves? Am I being cynical? Is it crazy to say that? Maybe I am crazy. V505. Sergeant, the train has left the station.
Private, I don't pay you to stand there looking pretty.
Yes, sir, Captain, sir.
Stand up. I don't know what I've been told. I don't know what I've been told.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, the full-blown, like, schizo tangents. Like, I don't even know when to pause. Like, I wanted to pause and say my own shit, but at the same time, I'm like, where the fuck is this going? Like, I feel like if this guy could, like, take his meds, he'd legit have a lot of potential as a good YouTuber. But at this point, like, this instead is, like, doomed to, like, obscure schizo Kino. Which, I mean, it is Kino. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not insulting this man for even a second. I am absolutely entertained. But there is no fucking way that this shit would appeal to a mass audience. It's a little too unhinged. But, shit, what did I even want to say? Well, I was just going to say, like, the problem is the leftist counter-argument is always like, yeah, we know they're pandering to us. We still hate corporations. But then, if they don't get pandered to, they get fucking upset and bitch. So they're fucking liars. Every time they're fucking liars. They want pandering. They don't care who panders to them. They want attention. You know, that's all this fucking is.
Transsexuals in video games is not normal.
Hey! Cut that out! Transgenders are people too! Yeah, I agree. They are people.
Yeah, they're people.
Oh, okay. I just thought you were being transphobic there for a brief moment because you alluded to some sort of dissonance with the inclusion of transsexuals in this fun video game. Is it fun to have transgenders in this game? It is for them. Yeah, but what about for me? What do you mean? Why would that be fun for me? I fail to see the relevance of what you're saying. What if I wanted the game to be decidedly for men?
Dear gamers, we regret to inform you that Tony Hawk's original version was decidedly for men! This game features a woman, but this game also features a woman in her underpants!
Look at yourself, you filthy whore.
Warning! Male environment detected.
The fact of the matter, Private Carrera was created by Noel Hines, character artist that created all the original characters. He owned a Porsche, and Carrera was his favorite car. That's where the name Private Carrera came from. Funny thing is, that rumor about Asia Carrera actually got to her.
Oh.
And she came to Neversoft one day. She visited our office. She was, interested in the video game thing. And Joel invited her, hey, you want to come over and check us out? She was really cool. She came into the office. And it was cool for the guys in the office for a porn star to come in. That was, when you think of a bunch of video game programmers and a porn star, it was a very classic scene.
Yeah, I imagine.
I don't care if people are transgender.
I can imagine.
I don't care if people are gay. It's not relevant to my life. If you want to be represented in mainstream media, make your own thing. You're free to make whatever video game you want and have gender identity.
Well, that's not a good example because that was government funded. I don't know if he's going to cover that, but that game, that was not them making their own thing. That was two governments. It was Norway and I know the United States. The United States, I think Norway or Sweden. It was Norway or Sweden, one of those. Fucking two governments paid for this game. This was not the gays getting together. There's plenty of indie games that were, the gays making games. So yeah, no, this is a bad example though. This one was not them making their own game. This is government funded propaganda.
As a contextual theme, do that and succeed or fail according to the merit of your work. But remaking an existing work, removing its idea of sexuality and replacing it with your preferred idea of sexuality, that's not earned. The original game included people because of their real-life innovations. Tony Hawk had just recently been the first person to do a 900. Rodney Mullen invented the kickflip, and when Bam was included, it was because he had made his own success with CKY, Jackass, and his skateboarding career.
I spent 48 hours here before, just locked in this thing, editing.
This handsome gentleman was included in the game because he's trans, and the trans community is supposed to believe that this is good for them. But to everyone else who isn't trans, and that's most people by the way, all this says is that identity is more important than skill or talent.
Obviously.
It says that certain people get opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have, and it's
because, okay, let's say hypothetically half of the population doesn't care about, well, okay, maybe I'm generalizing slightly too much because women do care if a man has talent or skill if they want to fuck him. But outside of securing mates, women do not care that, oh yeah, we should only have people who've actually accomplished things and matter be represented in the sports game, So yes, they're like, represent, we need all the minorities, all the troons, all the blah blah blah. They got to be in all these things so they'll be sad. You wouldn't want people to be sad, would you? We need to include as many people as possible. And then of course the retards will be like, we'll get more sales, even though there's no evidence. Actually, there's a mountain of evidence to the contrary that wokeness actually hurts sales and a fuck ton of video games, no matter how many cope posts you'll see by baiting gaming circle jerk troons. I'm going to send free rope to every person who is using that subreddit. Every single one. There's going to be a mountain of rope. It's going to make me go bankrupt. But all of you guys will get bundles of rope at Gaming Circle Jerk. I'll make it happen.
Because of the way they look. The group you identify with does not look good when that happens. You're just piggybacking off somebody else's success. I don't even know why you would want to be represented in mainstream media anyway. You think I give a fuck about Irish people being on TV? I know what my identity is. I don't need Hollywood to sell it back to me for profit. Thank you very much. It's embarrassing for your identity to be used as a cheap marketing gimmick.
Yeah, me too. I agree because I am Irish.
We're all Irish, Peter. But all that being said, I don't think it's fair to judge a game based entirely on the craziness of its characters. Have you not seen how beautiful this game is? A lot of love and care went into these 4K visuals.
Looks pretty washed out.
See, Quagmire? Peter gets it.
Yes, it is perfect, but it is not beautiful.
Ah.
Making something perfect is not interesting. For something to be truly beautiful, it needs to have something wrong with it. These numbers and letters are technically perfect. These numbers and letters are clean and round. The text is easy to see, but it has no personality. It is boring.
You've only been playing this game for 2 minutes. How can you say it's no good just by looking at those damn numbers? It's an extremely quick way to know that the game doesn't give a fuck about being authentic. It actually takes 2 seconds to see that this game is a joke. I mean, look at this. Look at what's on screen.
Remember the controversy before Starfield came out, where people were like, oh, you already know a game's bad by the start menu, right? And people were all screaming at that guy. They were fucking losing it. He was right. Starfield is shit. It's pretty fucking shit. Modern games have no personality. They're afraid to take any risks at all. Just basic bitch start screens.
In here, this typeface, this timer, this special meter. Actually look at it. Who likes this? I get that most people will tolerate this, but you will not find anyone who actively prefers it, because this is corporate design. It's not creative expression. In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, when you bail, your combo goes red and it falls off the screen. This has gravity to it, this has weight. They're not just literally telling you it's bad, they make you feel like it's bad. That was 25 years ago, and somehow that technology's just gone. We can't do that anymore, there's not enough money in the budget. I think people are fooled into thinking that this is quote-unquote good because it looks like it's optimized, it looks like it's efficient, it looks like everything works properly and you're gonna get your money's worth because look how sleek and professional the design is. But art isn't professionalism, art isn't optimization or efficiency. We want an artist to make us feel something. What if I told you that this is my computer?
Okay.
And this is what my folder pathway looks like for this video.
Cool.
What do my folder structures say about me and who I am as a person?
It says you are a very organized person.
You're not offended, are you?
No.
Nah, of course you're not.
No way.
Who would be offended by optimization and efficiency?
Yeah.
Now, what if I told you this is my computer?
Oh.
Every digital file I have is on this 32 gigabyte USB stick. I have no backups, and this is my folder pathway. Now, this may not make a lot of sense to you because this is a cryptic puzzle that only I know the answer to. These folder names are based on characters from an animated web series that I've created inside my own mind. The subfolders correspond to my perception of what the characters' thoughts are.
Hold on. I just said the point he's making here, but this is a really bad example. This is just schizophrenia. I mean, sure, maybe you understand your organized chaos, but what if you fucking forget, dude? If you made it up, it's in your fucking head. You're gonna lose shit. This is this is too schizophrenic. This is not a good point. You're actually selling me on corporate efficiency now. I don't like this. This is like, maybe you should talk to a normal human before you wrote this point.
create new folders every 15 minutes because Fox TV channels are keylogging my computer, and the most recent folder contains files
He's
for this
leaning
video.
into it.
What does that say about me? It says a lot.
Yep.
These two pathways lead to the exact same information. They're both just storage containers for files. The only thing that's changed is the names of the folders. But it feels different. They feel like two different worlds. That is the power of presentation, and the people who make this game, they know that that is a powerful tool that you can use, and they deliberately choose not to do it. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 had custom typefaces which were bold, which matched the identity of the game. They blended readability with style. They were dynamic. The text actually moved and was alive, instead of just lying flat on the screen like the dead, soulless default nothingness that this is. Dead.
Yeah, how many times have we noticed this with fucking remakes where they'll use some kind of default ass font, and it's like, that looks so fucking cheap though. I think they just assume normies are too dumb. They look at it, they don't care. It's like, yeah, but like fucking it looks bad. It looks fucking bad, dude. I don't care if the retards you're trying to sell this to don't care. I care, okay? I'm worth 1,000 fucking normies at least. Okay? I'm worth 10,000. They should be my fucking slaves. And this land was promised me 3,000 fucking years ago. Anyway.
Lifeless nothingness, video games, skateboarding, and U or W type foundry typefaces. Corporate S font. Oh, the corporate S font is so nice in my Tony Hawk skateboarding punk rock game.
Holy crap! Who could think of such a horrible thing?
They are making you accept the bare minimum of quality and to thank them for providing it to you. These games are conditioning you to accept that modernity is inevitable. They want you to accept that the world is going to be the way they want it to be.
Peter, with all due respect, you sound like a totally insane retard right now. You know that I have a deep psychological fear of subliminal messages, and it sounds like you're telling me that video games contain subliminal messages.
I have something to tell you. I'm not quite sure how to say this.
Come on, Peter, spit it out.
You are living through the largest psychological experiment in human history.
Oh, no!
Let me give you a minute to absorb that.
How the hell could video games be a psychological experiment? I thought it was just a harmless bit of fun that I do for 100 hours a week.
In the year 2002, video games were a small industry. They were not taken seriously. Today, it is the most popular entertainment in the world. The video game industry is more profitable than the music industry and the film industry combined. Cinema has been used to promote political agendas since its inception. It's easy to understand how effectively a film can promote political and social concepts. But people struggle to understand how video games can do the exact same thing.
Listen.
Only retards. I've been trying to tell these fucking retards. Well, no, here's the thing, though. Even that, I don't even think that's completely true. If video games had right-wing messaging in them, leftists would come out of the goddamn woodwork and say, this is horrific propaganda, blah, blah, blah. Even though, you know, yesterday they'll say, what do you mean? What do you mean propaganda? Schizophrenic? What are you talking about? What, is the earth flat? It's like, they don't believe in anything because they're demoralized. Okay? When you understand these fucking idiots are completely demoralized, they only believe what they already believe and everything that affirms what they currently believe, which is wrong, what they believe is fucking wrong, then you know you can't even fucking reason with these people. So just insult them. Who cares about ad hominem? Call them idiots. They're fucking stupid. Call them, embarrass them. They're subhumans. Fuck them, okay? They suck. This is just that, you know, like, I don't know. It's not a surprise most people don't like me. Trust me, it was never a surprise. But they deserve it, though. Like, they deserve everything I've said. Can they, you know, they can call me an asshole, but do they say I'm wrong? No. Well, maybe they do say I'm wrong, but they don't give good arguments. They're just like, yeah, they just bitch. They bitch and moan.
I understand that if you flash words on screen really fast, you can make people smoke cigarettes and drink beer. That makes sense. But this guy over here is talking about being brainwashed by the stylization of text. Why? Does it matter what fonts they use in Tony Hawk's? It matters because it's objectively wrong. There is no argument in favor of this typeface. It's inappropriate as a homage to 90s counterculture, and it's inappropriate for creative expression in general. The reason this typeface was changed is not for the benefit of the consumer, it's for the benefit of Activision. It's easier for them to just force you to think something's good, rather than take a chance on something that you might not be willing to pay for. Why take a creative risk when you can just force people to believe that everything you do is good? But how could a video game force me to do anything? I can just not buy the game. But you will buy it. Oh no, I won't. Oh yes, you will. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day this game will go on sale and you'll say, wow, that's pretty cheap. Hey, maybe this remake is actually good. And when you pay money for this game, that's when you have officially accepted that this game sucks, but you'll buy it anyway. Sure, Quagmire, but I don't have a crystal ball. I can't know that it's gonna be bad before playing it. It's the same with any product. You can only know if it's good after you've already paid for it. What if I told you that you can instantly know that a game is bad just by looking at the box?
Yeah, here we go. I approve. I approve of this line of thinking, especially. That said, I don't agree with the idea of people just gonna buy it anyway every time. Otherwise, there wouldn't be these mass layoffs in the game industry. There wouldn't be all these studios shutting down. There wouldn't be these constant reports about games not meeting sales expectations. Obviously, there is a crowd, especially this one, you know, us, who are watching this video right now, who aren't buying these fucking games. You know what I mean? There are people. Though the fucking other guy, I guess, is supposed to represent the normie idiot, so you know he might be right to a point. But yes, box art, absolutely. Soulless box art is definitely highly noticeable modern trend for sure. Well, it's been around for a long time. I mean, it was very homogenized in like the PS3 360 era. Like every fucking box art started to look the same.
Possible. What you're describing is known as judging a book by its cover, and conventional wisdom says that you should never do that. If you know what you're looking for,
that's propaganda.
You can tell just by looking at the logo.
You absolutely can judge a book by its cover. That's propaganda we were all fed as children. And it's just not true. You absolutely can judge any piece of art by its surface level characteristics. You absolutely can. There's not a single doubt about that. And yeah, I know chat will think about applying that to other aspects. But even just if we're taking it in its intended use, you can absolutely judge any piece of art by its surface level characteristics. You can. You can. There's nothing wrong with that. We were fed that bullshit as children. For other reasons that I'm sure Chad is talking about right now.
That this game is trying to force you to accept something that you don't want. No way! You don't believe me? You're a crackpot! You belong in the loony bin! Alright then, I'll prove it to you. Anyone with eyeballs can see the difference between street-style design and corporate design.
That's not true. Disagree. Women look at me and think I'm a loser, but they're wrong. I'm a great guy. No, Harambe, you are a loser. I'm sorry. Women are right. You're a sub-5 oofy doofy beta bucks deluxe excess male with flawed swarthy genetics. Sorry. I don't make the rules.
The new version is marketed as an exact remake of the original version. All of the advertising says that this game is exactly as you remember, so you'd expect them to be faithful to the street-style design philosophy. But they change the design philosophy. And then you think, okay, why was it changed? And the answer you're given is, corporate design is better. And you know that that is a ludicrous thing to say. Nobody likes corporate design. It's deliberately void of style. It's designed so that communication can be clear without the distraction of style or identity. It's just literal information. The background design for the original Tony Hawk's logo is supposed to represent a skateboard wheel. The text is slanted to represent speed and energy. The lowercase n is unconventional. It defies tradition. The number 4 being larger than the text emphasizes the significance of the installment over the series. The remastered logo removes all of that. The only function of the text is to tell you the name of the game. It features a stock image of an ambiguous skateboarder. The N in Tony was capitalized to make it more conventional. The installment numbers are the same size as the rest of the text. And somehow we're supposed to believe that the remastered version is exactly the same as the original version. It can't be exactly the same, but also different. It can't be a classic game that's also modern, with edgy humor, but also political correctness. And yet, you're told that you are wrong. You're told over and over again, the game is right.
Yeah,
the game is
this fucking Xbox on one of those fucking shield channels. It's got to be right. Never heard of it, but it's definitely got to be.
Perfect remake, and the game is worth $70.
Rapscallion, enjoy my pretties.
But can I pick up the seeds? Ah.
My bird seed.
Fucking millennial humor, man.
This is the greatest day of my life! I don't think they're friendly, dude.
What the? Ah! Get him off me!
What the fuck is this cheap ass shit? Dude, look at how bad this fucking looks. This looks so cheap.
You say that those two things are not the same, but the game industry says 100 times that yes, they are. And eventually, you
Dude.
just give up. You say, fuck it,
That
I
looks
couldn't
so
be
fucking
arsed
bad.
trying to argue this anymore. That's when Activision has won. They can do whatever they want, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I know he's highlighting most positive, but that's only 138 reviews. That tells me nobody bought the fucking game, which is good. That is a white pill that no one bought the fucking game.
If you want propaganda to be effective, you don't have to convince people that what you are saying is true. You just have to flood the zone with so much untruth constantly.
Yeah, you would know
And at
something
some
about that,
point,
Obama. You
people
would.
don't believe anything.
Yeah, he's.
It doesn't matter.
This, I love when they tell on themselves so thoroughly.
If everybody believes it, it just matters if everybody starts kind of throwing up their hands and saying, well, I guess it doesn't matter.
This remaster is a masterclass in how
Yeah,
to
that's
modernize
interesting.
legacy gameplay
Interesting
without
observation.
killing the soul. It's a gift to fans and a lesson in restraint. Every texture, combo, and mechanic has been refined without losing what made the originals iconic. It feels like the game you remember, only better.
That's not true, but we will pretend like it is.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy the games if the games are good. They don't need to psychologically maneuver me. Do you know who actually owns Activision? Yeah, well, I guess Activision's probably run by a bunch of nerds, computer geeks, and whatnot.
I am going to tell you who the owners of Activision are.
Here we go.
You are the gamer. This is the game. These are the developers. They are the publisher. But who are the owners?
Okay, here we go. Berkshire Hathaway, the Vanguard Group, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, State Street Corporation, Capital Research and Management Company, Norges Bank, I think the National Bank, Kite Lake Capital Management.
Whoa! So you're saying that all these guys make money when I buy a video game? You're not just giving them money for a game. You're giving them much more than that. You're giving them your attention. Take Vanguard, for example. Vanguard owns 8% of Activision. But Vanguard also owns Yum Brands. In fact, Vanguard is the largest shareholder of Yum Brands. And Yum Brands is the parent company of Taco Bell. Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 features several Taco Bells in the game. At what point does a game stop being a game and just ends up being advertising space? If consumers had any values, they wouldn't stand for such corporate influence in the products that they love. But consumers don't
Movie
care.
Bob,
They
dude.
just consume.
So after really wanting to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, and paying £18 to upgrade to play it early, even though I already ordered the collector's edition, so I can play it early and it's arriving today, because I just didn't want to wait till the evening. Well, anyway, a few hours later, it arrived, so paying the money was definitely worth it. I didn't want to wait that long. And inside, you get the game, which obviously I no longer need anymore, and the main thing I wanted, the deck. Now, I'm a big fan of the Tony Hawk series, and I already have 2 of the other collector's decks, and they're all going on the wall when I get round to finishing the room.
Dude, I can't even watch shit like that because it makes me feel bad about the stuff I own. I don't even buy shit that much, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got all this crap in my background. I can turn my webcam, show you the garbage I got in this shelf. It's just like, you gotta fucking, at some point, you have to just take a look, long, hard look in the mirror and realize what you're fucking doing, man. The Soy Boy stuff is so depressing after a certain point. Like, you know, if like, let's say hypothetically, I was told, okay, you got to move out of here tomorrow. You can't take any of this shit. Okay, it's gone. You know, maybe I'll come back for it someday. It's not important. None of this shit's important. It's just background for the webcam. That's it. I don't even think about it. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. This shit, like, it really feels like these people are just filling the void in their soul. And I mean, that's kind of why I was buying the shit too. It's just, it just gets fucked, man. Like, I don't understand the consumerism shit. Like, Devin's the ultimate one where Devin owns nothing, as I already told you guys. So we already went over this. Devin owns nothing and he doesn't care. He'll have no furniture, nothing on the walls, nothing. He'll just have like a chair, a TV, a computer. That's it, you know. It said you couldn't take it. How'd you come back for it? Sometimes I wonder how chat manages to feed themselves. What do you mean if I leave tomorrow, move somewhere, I can't come back for the stuff? Do you think the house is burning down? How do you guys wipe your own ass? Like, I genuinely, how do some of you wipe your own asses? Like, you can't even fucking conceptualize the future. Like, what does that even fucking mean? Like, I didn't say the house is burning down when I leave. I just said if I have to move out of here, I'll just take the computer, the monitors, microphone, clothes, you know, the essentials, and then maybe someday I'll come back for the crap. Yeah, no object permanence. Exactly. I'm just like, what are you talking about? I didn't even... Dude, I'm laughing so hard right now. There's no way that was organic. Anyway, let's just keep going.
Did you know that Tony Hawk was a massive Taco Bell fan?
That's not true.
What? Hold on. What is this? Where was this brought up? What is this a clip from? There's no way. Why'd that just get fucking brought up? Is this there's no way this is like a presentation at a show. Is this like almost like a shareholders thing? Is this like a GDC or something? Like, what the fuck is this? This is not during like Summer Games Fest or something, right? Like, what do you mean? Tony, who are you presenting this to? Gamers did not watch this. What is this from?
Taco Bell fan.
That's not true, but we will pretend like it is.
That is a picture of Tony Hawk in the 90s in a Taco Bell. He has not aged one day.
Yeah, I know there were some people upset. I'm like, holy fuck, it looks like his face is melting off. And people are like, dude, he's old, bro. He's fucking old. Listen, I know my dad's an outlier. He's 61. You guys, or he's 60. And you guys haven't seen him. I know. But if you saw him, none of you would guess he's 60. Not one of you would fucking guess he's 60, okay? Tony Hawk looks like his flesh is falling off the goddamn bone, dude.
So we got with Tony and the Activision team and we said, hey, he's going to launch his new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game this summer. I think it's only right that we put a Taco Bell in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Did you know that Tony Hawk was a massive Taco Bell fan?
Are professional athletes generally massive fans of junk food? And is it normal for them to promote junk food to an audience of mostly children?
All right, well, forget that I just told you his age. Wipe it from your brain.
Athletes do? I had to look this up, and yeah, Tony does not love Taco Bell. He once lost everything and lived off Taco Bell for $5 a day.
Tony Hawk was a massive Taco Bell fan.
Now remember, Tony bought his first home when he was 17 years old. I'm 28 and I live in my grandmother's house, so I don't feel too bad for Tony.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised by this wall here. What the CRTs are kind of key now, though. What did I do with our CRT? It's somewhere around here. I still have one.
Tony eating Taco Bell. But listen, he sold one of his houses and he refinanced the other, and he was grand.
I think it's only right that we put a Taco Bell in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So when you go out and get the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game later this summer, that's right, you can do an ollie, a kick flip, a 50-50 grind on a Taco Bell. You can get some exclusive Taco Bell merch. That is a deck with nacho fries on it.
Dude, this doesn't feel real. So this is posted on IGN somewhere. So I guess if you found this video, you could find out what this is from. That's IGN's logo up there. But like, what the actual fuck is this? Like, how is this real? Like, people are sitting down. It's probably only press in the audience because there's no one would willingly watch this. This is fucking embarrassing.
Okay? So go out, get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and skate on the Taco Bell that's in the game.
I agree with you that subliminal advertisements are evil. But I was just watching you play Tony Hawk's on the PS2, and there was a McDonald's in the background. Well, okay, so... see, I stumped you. Well, at least that was an original game. It's not a remake that put a McDonald's in where there wasn't one before. I so got you. You're speechless. I'm not speechless. I'm talking right now. You have no response. Well, I'm formulating.
This is funny. This is part of the schizophrenia where he's like arguing with himself, which, I mean, to be fair, this is a real conversation that could happen. It's not like this is like some straw manning shit. But the point is, like, it feels like it's the voices in his head talking to each other about shit.
Response. I'm in the process of formulating it. Okay. There's a lot of advertisements in this crazy world. I get it. But if there's one thing that we can be thankful for, if there's one shining beam of radiant light in this dark world, it's Jack Black dressed up as a policeman. Oh my God! That is absolutely insane! I recognize him! That is so insane because I recognize him! He's in movies!
I can't believe Jack Black likes video games. He's just like me.
Pulling silly faces. He's like a modern-day Jim Carrey.
5.5 million. It is crazy how many big YouTubers I've never heard of. There's like an insane amount of huge YouTubers I've never heard of. It is weird. That's part of like dead internet theory to me. Where it's like, I feel like back in like 2012, if there was a YouTuber that had over 1 million subs, I'd probably heard their name at some point. I legit never heard of that guy. Yeah, our Hollow, yes, the Indian man. That's him on his alt account.
That is awesome.
I mean, seriously, back in 2012, I can't imagine like not knowing a 5.5 million sub channel.
Is he a police officer or is he a politician? Cop, politician, what's the difference? He's corrupt is what he is. Don't get me.
That's so funny. Vote Dick. What the fuck slogan is your buddy? They literally couldn't even think of like anything even remotely clever for a slogan. Your buddy. That's his slogan. Dude, oh my God. Can we kill every developer at this fake studio that is clearly a money in Minecraft, of course. I would never suggest ever hurting anybody in real life ever. But in Roblox, if we could decapitate every single developer who worked on this game, that'd be pretty cool. I think we should probably do that. Yeah. But like there's so many jokes you could do with Vote Dick, and you went with your buddy. Because I guess in my pants I have a dick, and he's kind of like my little buddy. Is that the joke? That's really what we're going with? You gotta be fucking kidding.
He started on corruption. I'll kill your ass, you get me started on that. Well, no, they're not the same thing. Yeah, they're pretty interchangeable, I'd say. Man, it's easy to say a politician is corrupt. That's the most socially acceptable take of all time. But what about cops? Are cops corrupt? I'd like to know what Iron Galaxy thinks about this. You can't bring back a white American policeman called Officer Dick and not include subtext. I think he's just a guy who looks like a cop, but he's actually an educated diplomat. It symbolizes how our perceptions are shaped by the clothes that people wear. Hey, that's pretty genius. The original joke was that it's a policeman and he's a dick. Haha, fuck the cops because cops stop skaters from skateboarding. But now it's just Jack Black in a costume.
Sorry, you'll need to give me a minute. I'm mentally preparing to do Hot Ones again.
Is that cool? Is that fun? What if I told you that Vanguard, who owns 8% of Activision, is the largest shareholder in AMC theaters? What kind of movies do they show in AMC theaters? Oh yeah, Jack Black movies!
Not so full of beans now.
All right. That one might be a little bit of a stretch. That one might be a little schizo. What do you... AMC theaters show all sorts of films. What do you... What do you... like, what...
Yeah.
Well, I gotta hand it to you, Quagmire. You really pulled that info together like Rain Man. Congratulations. And you know what? I had a suppressed memory just come to light. I remember seeing Taco Bell and Tony Hawk's when I was watching the PlayStation podcast. Subliminal advertising! I went and got 3 Taco Bells that day. Help me, Quagmire! Help me! You were watching the PlayStation podcast? You bet your ass
really?
I was. And what were they saying about Tony Hawk's? It was hilarious, actually. They were talking about a guy who took a pee-pee inside Canada.
The Canada level, it's back, right?
Yes.
Can you tip the man who is peeing on the edge of a mountain over the mountain still?
In the remake, that's a dude who's trying to take pictures of you.
That's not true.
What?
That's a dude who's trying to take pictures of you.
Oh, they changed it from a peeing person to a photographer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, they changed it from a peeing person to a photographer.
Yeah.
How is it even offensive to have a guy pissing? Oh, wait, you couldn't have a guy pissing? Like, even, what, really? Like, what the... What do you mean the rating? You can fucking censor it. What are you talking about? You don't have to show a dick.
This is an Easter egg in the game. A Guitar Hero box in a trash can. Guitar Hero was also made by Neversoft, so I guess Iron Galaxy are saying that Guitar Hero is bold and brash. Ha ha ha! I'm a funny guy. I get comedy. It's just a joke. Hey, if someone came into my house and started wearing my clothes and called themselves Quagmire Remastered and threw something I love into the toilet and started pissing on it, and then if they sold that video to 1 million people for $70 each, I would laugh and say, ha ha ha, that's...
Dude, this man, I want to explore his brain, because I feel like when it comes to, like, the insane amount of effort that went into this video to get 44,000 views, I literally cannot relate to this on any goddamn level. And then we have this video, The Trial of Cell. I don't know what the fuck this is. It got 716,000 views in a day. I almost want to check out to see just what this is. But it's like this extremely high effort schizophrenia with good editing only gets 44,000 views. And me, I hate editing, and I put no effort in my videos, and I get, at least I get 100,000 views almost every time. So, yeah. Just crazy.
Funny. But then, Iron Galaxy actually posted on Reddit and said that this actually was intended to be an insult to Neversoft. They're conducting an investigation and they will remove the offensive joke immediately. They are spineless little pussies with no ideas and no conviction.
I want to see the faces of the people who made this game. I want to know what they look like.
Yeah.
Aw, Peter, don't be afraid. It's only gay people, the most kind-hearted people in the world.
You are a gay person.
I'm not gay, and don't you ever say that again, you fat son of a... I'm just kidding, Peter. I just don't understand why this whole conspiracy around gay people's happening. Why you gotta hyperfixate on a person's sexual? Can't you just ignore homosexuals and stop being maniacally obsessed with them? All they want is to be left alone. They're just trying to fly under the radar, but you're out here noticing them. Stop noticing them! Do you think it's just a coincidence that this many people involved with the game are gay, trans, or an ethnic minority? Have you ever considered that
No fucking way. 60% of the studio is gay or a minority, I guess. Well, okay, if you add minority, then it's not as bad, I guess. Still a lot. That's still a lot, though. I want to know how this breaks down. Like, what's the percentage of gays or minorities? You know what I mean?
There's a significant overlap of men who love video games and men who love to suck cock.
I don't think sucking cock should be a criteria for getting a job at a game studio.
This episode of Family
Out of
Guy.
context, that's pretty fucking funny. I don't know if sucking dick should be criteria for getting a job in the game industry. Well, that's DEI for you. They got to get that ESG money, so you better start sucking dick.
Is brought to you by IronGalaxyStudios.com. If you navigate to the dedicated DEIA section of our website, you can learn more about what we do here at Iron Galaxy Studios. We have big, organic, and natural smiles. Remember when this awesome game came out?
Server crashes, game crashes, textures far too texturous, an all-consuming void, frame rate problems, screen tear problems, getting too swole, getting underneath the map.
We've served as consultants to help our partners prepare for launch.
I don't get it. Why are they confessing?
They're not. Yeah.
They're bragging.
Hi, my name is Claire.
Yeah.
I use she, her, and they, them pronouns. I am the executive assistant to...
She loves nuggies, guys. There you go. That's your look. That's chat's looks match right there. She loves nuggies. She'll make you nuggies. There you go. Hit her up.
Our two co-CEOs. My favorite food is chicken nuggets.
We play chess. We conducted an interview with ourselves. We asked ourselves, what improvements would you like to see in the games industry?
Not just in games, but everywhere. I'm excited to see more acceptance of the full rainbow of genders and sexualities.
Whoa, hold on. That's the fucking CEO. Oh my god. I'm tired of this fake shit. You want to talk about fake games? This is a fake dev studio. It's not even real. This is completely fake shit. This is just like throwing more money down the goddamn drain. Oh my god. The fakeness never fucking stops. It never stops. Nothing is real anymore. Nothing is fucking real. God damn, dude. This is the shit that makes me scared, so. Because it's like, I see this shit, and I'm like, I realize, oh, everything is fake. The world ended, like, the Mayans were right, you know? At 2012 was the end. We just didn't know it. We somehow shifted into hell at the end of 2012. I don't know how that happened, but, you know, it's been over.
I'm super happy to see more representation these days.
More recognition of our community and representation in the games that get funded.
I would love to see the industry as a whole become more proactive about queer issues.
The internet is an extremely volatile and nasty place, and harassment campaigns are terrifying ways that angry groups of people can ruin the lives of developers.
I would like to see a broader representation of gender identities.
I would like to see the games industry be proactive in educating their staff about the beauty in gender identity.
The game is fun.
And to create game content that represents LGBTQ+.
If it's not fun, why bother?
Much less of the boys club mentality.
You could honestly, like, people beat a dead horse with clips in their videos, but I could probably use that Reggie clip in every fucking modern game review I've ever made, and it would be right every fucking time. If it's not fun, why bother? Okay? It's nothing's, they don't fucking give a fuck. Nothing's fun.
Still exists in older circles.
Where's the fun?
Yeah, to wrap it up, I was going to say Iron Galaxy does a really good job of giving people a chance. So apply with this. If you don't have experience, a lot of us came with no actual formal experience.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, no formal experience. Excuse me, what'd you just say?
A lot of us came with no actual experience.
No actual experience. Okay, audit, huh? Someone want to call the IRS? Is it time to check this place out? Nah, obviously they'd get off scot-free. They don't give a fuck. This shit's all the same. They're all together. They're all working together. The biggest, hookiest nose you've ever seen that's eaten 5 billion foreskins was involved in this. So, you know, it's... But this is... Who gives a fuck? These people, you know, there's people being cheated out of millions and millions of dollars every fucking day. Who cares? You know, this is just another example. This is just money going down the drain. It's probably our fucking money. It's probably our money. The government probably paid for this shit. You don't know. Some government probably did.
You know, you see a lot of videos on YouTube that have big budgets, fancy editing and all that. But I'm here, alone in my basement, and I like it that way. Because that's the way the internet is supposed to be.
And I like it that way.
One guy sitting at a computer, making the things that he wants to make. If you'd like to help me keep the spirit of the old internet alive, then joining the Small Dudes Patreon is the way to go. So it's the support from people like yourself that makes it possible to do this. This isn't a mainstream YouTube channel. This is a pretty crazy lifestyle choice. The link is in the description. Thank you, sincerely. And without further ado, we're gonna hear from the CEO of Iron Galaxy. She's gonna tell us all about what her game studio actually does.
Miss Blasco, I'm going to ask you this one more time.
Oh my god. Dude, this is so... someone in chat said, this is like pure schizo masterpiece or something. I've watched this all the way through twice, and now I'm like, you know what, I fucking get it, because you gotta watch this whole fucking thing twice to digest the whole thing. Legitimately, you gotta watch the whole fucking thing. It's like, there's so much fucking shit going on. Just like, dude, what the fuck? This is so high effort. This is so goddamn high effort. This definitely deserves, you know, we'll just say like at least 500,000 views. At least 500,000 deserves. We need to fucking pump these fucking view numbers up.
How does Iron Galaxy make money?
We make video games.
Do you though? Do you make video games? Because I made a comprehensive list of every video game you've ever made, and it ain't a long list. Racketeer. So this is an Xbox Kinect motion sensor gimmick game. Dive Kick, a game with 2 buttons, jump and kick. IGN actually said that this game features a significant amount of racism. But it's Asian racism, so nobody cared. Killer Instinct Season 2. Technically not an original game, since this is an existing franchise. Killer Instinct Season 3. I guess they can work fast when they need to. Extinction. This is a blatant clone of Shadow of the Colossus, except with ogres. Oh my god, man.
What the fuck?
How arrogant it is to try and rip off one of the most artful games of all time. You fools! How dare you? That is insane! Rumbleverse. a battle royale live service game, I guess they just went full Fortnite. It lasted 6 months until they shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, this shit's crazy to me because I've never fucking heard of this. I've never heard of this. I'd never heard of that fucking, like, Shadow of the Colossus rip-off thing either.
Played it. They had to refund all of the money that they made. Wow, no money was made on this. Most studios,
dude, that's crazy. They had to refund everything
like that on a project that took 6 years.
That's
but not
insane.
Iron Galaxy, because their company.
Yeah, how the fuck? Literally, any other studio would have been sucked by this, which is how you know the schizos are right. This is fucking. Ooh. Government propaganda studio. There's no way you fucking survive 6 years of development and you had to refund every fucking copy and you didn't make fucking... There's no way they made a fucking cent of profit off of that shit. There's no way. There's no... The studio survived that? Nuh-uh. This is... Again, you know, we don't live in a good world. Otherwise, you know, the government be knocking on these fuckers' doors and then, you know, just start chopping people's heads off with machetes. At least that's what my government would do, but, you know, that's what my government would do. But anyway.
Doesn't actually need to make money. They get paid through private equity.
We had seen significant growth actually in 2020. We're over 350 people, but 145 people were just added this year. And so we...
Okay, so a studio that's made $0 got 145 more people. All right. Okay.
Growth. We actually just went through a transaction as well. So we have a large investment from a private equity firm.
Oh, a private equity firm. Would that have been Vanguard? Like this schizo has been covering earlier in this video? Would Vanguard have been that private equity firm that mysteriously gave you, you know, millions of dollars to work with? I wonder. You think so?
By a private investors who nobody knows about, and that's why they get to remake Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. They don't even need to make this game because the game engine was already developed for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and the actual content of the game was created by Neversoft back in 2002. So all they have to do is recreate the game in high definition. That's it. That's literally the extent of what is expected from them. $50 for the base game. $70 for 2 extra characters.
Are you serious? Is that all you get?
Personalized web pages for our employees who are gay, a woman, an immigrant, a gay woman, a woman immigrant, or a gay immigrant. Sometimes we categorize our employees into distinct groups based on their ethnicity, and that's not racist. This is Michael.
Hello, Michael.
Michael is our lead sound designer. This is his state-of-the-art workstation.
Please. Take a moment to soak in the expensive atmosphere of our professional sound studio.
Oh, this is such a cool place to be, especially when you compare it to the puny workstations of any amateur YouTuber. Oh my god! What a shithole! You could never get any meaningful work done here, no way! It is not an appropriate facility for creating professional audio. The sound studio of Iron Galaxy. Oh yes! This is where multi-million-dollar video games are made!
So much nicer.
I'm sure you've all read Michael's webpage on IronGalaxy.com. I don't need to rehash the details of his...
I've never been more glad that I added a schizo emote than right now, you know? It's crazy that it took over a year of having memberships to add a schizo emote, given that we talk about schizo shit all the time on here. But goddamn, dude, like, the fucking craziness emanating from this video is unreal.
His favorite movies, his dream holiday destination, and childhood memories. But did you know Michael enjoys the hobby of cooking?
Now, when it comes to cheeses for the carbonara,
you probably missed this awesome video because it's unlisted and only has 59 views. But this video features professional camera equipment, lighting fixtures, and a professional audio edit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and hi, welcome to the Chef's Kiss.
Michael Metz.
audio manager at Iron Galaxy Studios.
Been making and managing audio for games for almost 20 years.
Today we will be
listen to that audio quality. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
some pasta carbonara. I'm not very good at rolling my R's. Some people say carbonara. Yes, it's a wonderful pasta dish. Very creamy pasta dish.
He has helped ship over 10 titles such as America's Army, True Soldiers.
Watch for hostiles.
Oh yeah, that looks like quality game.
Let's move to the next rally point.
Family Guy, the video game.
Yep, another piece of shit.
Go Diego Go, great dinosaur rescue.
Hold your Wii remote in both hands in front of your mouth like this.
Yeah, what was that? You want to run that vice again?
A meal meant to be eaten right away.
I'm so glad when devs fail upward. You know, you go from working on shovelware to remaking a beloved game series. That's only the best in the modern game industry.
You know it's a good Parmesan because you can see it actually says it on the.
I mean, I don't even want to look at this from the schizo angle. Genuinely, what was the company thinking with this one? Do you really think literally what purpose did it serve to make this video for your studio? Like, genuinely, what did this accomplish? It almost feels like to me, because remember, this is an unlisted video with 60 views. To me, shit like this feels like glitches in the Matrix, genuinely. Remember that Destiny video where he found that fake person? Remember when we reacted to that? That's what this type of shit strikes me as. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, you're just creating crazy-ass shit. And it's fucking... Yeah, I mean, money laundering is probably the most logical example. But of all the things to waste money on, you waste money filming a fucking cooking video when you're supposed to be a goddamn, audio engineer. But no one's watching this. Did he just want to make it? He just got drunk off his ass? He's like, let's just fucking film, a food thing. That'll be hilarious. Like, what is this? It's unlisted! This is, again, schizo shit. Is this real? Yeah, Trump 2004. Trump 2004 alert going off my head right now. Is this guy real? Is he a real person? I don't know.
Wheel of it, so that's how you know it's pretty good.
Watch the sparks!
It was funny. I complained about this shit when I played the Dead Space 1 remake. And of course, everyone screamed at me. A clip of me went viral on Twitter. Angry Joe bitched like a little faggot that we all know he is. But I was right. Okay? Dead Space remake, audio quality, the audio is way worse, not nearly as scary. The animations were also shittier too. The necromorphs, they didn't sprint crazy at you anymore. No, it looked fucking cheaper. It absolutely did. But everyone's like, no, it's great. It's so good. He bitches about everything. He's talking about, race swapping posters. And it's like, yeah, all this is true, though. Everything I'm fucking saying is true, you fucking retards. But yeah, eat the slop. I'm glad it fucking failed. I'm glad it failed. I'm glad they don't get to butcher Dead Space Remake 2. I hope you fucking cry. Because, remaking that shit and making it worse makes me sad. So I hope you're sad, and I'm less sad because they don't get to fucking ruin a game I love. Fuck you. Reup. I'm going to send it. I'm sending Rope to Angry Joe. Anyway. I'm just remembering shit. That was years ago, but, you know, I just remembered.
Look at all that fat.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Oh my god.
I had the great pleasure of working with Mike for over 5 years. Mike is a very talented audio and video designer.
Hello, and welcome to Top Chef. Hello, and welcome to Bottom Chef.
He also has a technically advanced understanding of both hardware and software capabilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so the people who made the new Tony Hawks are a bunch of hypersexual freaks. I will concede that much. But let's be real, Quagmire. It's not entirely their fault that the game is bad. Sure, the game engine was entirely made by Vicarious Visions, and the design philosophy was already established. And yeah, all of the content of the game was already created by Neversoft. But even though Iron Galaxy just had one job and one job only, it's not their fault that they completely messed it up. They probably wanted to make a good game, but they just had unreasonable demands from their evil overlords.
I'm so glad he's tackling this point. How many fucking times have we heard this from lefty scumbags covering for their own people ruining video games? How many fucking times have we heard this? I'm so glad he's talking about this.
Bosses, the men in suits. Iron Galaxy are good people who had no choice but to make a bad game. Fact. No, you can't just say fact and that makes it true.
Well,
like, that's
I just
not...
did, so
no,
believe it or not, it just happened.
So you're saying that Iron Galaxy is not evil?
That's right.
Iron Galaxy just works for an evil company.
Correctamundo.
So they're completely innocent.
Oh my
and
god, no, wait! Oh, I just realized something. They work for the evil overlords. That makes them henchmen. Oh god, I hate henchmen. Oh, no way, I've changed my mind. That just ain't right. I would never work for a company that profits on wasting people's lives with bad content. Never! If I ever get a paycheck from a big red company that produces low quality content, I'm gonna go around the back of this house with a big brown rope and I'm gonna swing like George from the jungle.
Calm down.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, what the hell was that tangent
They want
about?
to create propaganda. There was a mission in Tony Hawk's 3 where you have to impress attractive ladies. Look at how sexy they are. I want to have sex with them, even though they only exist on my PlayStation. I am imagining they were real, and I am imagining that they are in my bedroom. But they changed the mission.
The AI Peter Griffin. That shit, that's funnier than it should be, given his fucking AI voice shit, but... But yeah, that was the thought all of us as kids had whenever we saw sexy women in video games. You know, our imagination fills in the rest because the graphics are pretty limited at the time, you know?
Because all the people who work at the game studio are very ugly. They're jealous of the sexy ladies.
Oh yeah, I know that mission. They actually changed it to something much better. Wait until you see this, Quagmire. Instead of impressing the girls, you impress the skaters. So if you do some tricks over here, look who's watching. Look, it's the skateboarder with no legs. Oh my god, he's back and he's watching you. That is genius. I can't believe this is real.
Again, they include this guy, but not one of the most iconic skateboarders of all time.
Iron Galaxy could not afford...
It's like legally required for every YouTuber to use the Silent Hill 2 track. I feel like every YouTuber has used this track in a video. Almost every fucking one that has ever made a video before has used this track at some point.
Get Bam Margera in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. We just couldn't do it. There wasn't enough time.
I mean, including me, I've also used it in several videos.
We know he was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and Pro Skater 4, and Underground 1, and Underground 2, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and Project 8, and Proving Ground. But we made no efforts to include him in this game.
And that's the way it was gonna be. Until every Tony Hawk's fan in the world went online and said, no career mode plus no Bam Margera equals no buy.
fast forward Tony Hawk's game. You
Yeah.
just recently got back into that.
I heard through the grapevine that there was a deadline for the video game and it was already too late.
You just
but
happened to call Tony?
I think he called. He was like, look, we're putting Bam in the game. They're like, but the deadline, I don't care. You're making a later deadline. Whatever it is, you're making it happen.
Wow. Bam Margera is in the game! We changed our mind at the last minute and now Bam is in the game! Wow! Now you have to buy it. He is a secret skater. You will have to complete arbitrary tasks to unlock him. But he's in there!
So it was always possible to include him in the game, but coincidentally, it was only when people boycotted the game that he got added. And then they tried to gaslight you into thinking that it was their intention the whole time.
A potentially major omission from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 had fans worried. Would Activision really leave one of the series' most beloved skaters behind? Nope.
Yes, you would do that, because you literally were going to do that. And now, people will buy the game.
They put Bam Margera in the game, but they still didn't include career mode.
They fixed that too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because when all these insatiable gamers started complaining that there's no open world, they added an option to change the timer from 2 minutes to 60 minutes. So you can play the game at your own.
Dude, I know there were a few people bitching about this. Because I'll admit, like, I kind of half-assed the point, because I'm just like, whatever, fuck this shit. But, like, when I was talking about in, like, my Doom the Dark Ages video, you have all these fucking sliders for difficulty and shit. Like, are you even designing the goddamn game anymore? Do you even have a fucking vision? No, there is no fucking vision. Plus, this is a remake anyway. There shouldn't be a fucking vision. Why would you even have a 2-minute timer if that wasn't there before? Like, why would you arbitrarily add something that makes the game worse? Like, for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. We'll just Band-Aid fix with a fucking slider. Like, what? There's no... Video games are not art if you're just going to add sliders to try and, like, appeal to everybody. Fuck that shit. That's not art. Are you kidding?
Own leisurely pace. All that says to me is that they have no confidence in what they've made. The 2-minute timer is their justification for having less stuff. The levels have to be 2 minutes so they can hide how much content has been removed, but people want to have infinite time because that's the way the game is supposed to be. So a 60-minute timer is an arbitrary middle ground that allows them to look like they're giving you what you want, while technically being able to say that it's not an open world, therefore it can't be compared to the original. And ultimately, they just resort to straight up false advertising by saying, who says there's no career mode? You! You said there's no career mode, because there isn't one.
Career mode will not be included in the game. We know there was a career mode in the original game, but we just didn't have enough time. We were really busy and we couldn't get it done.
Actually, that's not true. Iron Galaxy were fully capable of putting career mode in the game. They just didn't want to, because removing the open world is actually cooler and more fun. Yeah, I read that, but I assumed they were lying. It sounded like that's just what Activision told them to do, and they had no creative control. Oh, they had creative control. The proof's right here in the game. See this thing here? This is called tutorial mode. It teaches you how to play the game and stuff like that. But this mode is an open world environment, just like the original. You can go to these videotapes to start the mission. And then Tony talks to you with his sweet, delicate lips, and then you do the mission, and when you're done, you go along your merry way. So this is definitive proof that they could have made it into an open world. This is exactly what it would have looked like. They just didn't feel like it.
84% of the original soundtrack is gone too. The licensing was just too expensive. It couldn't be done.
47 songs are missing from the game. That is abysmal.
Yeah,
Tony
that's
Hawk
really
said
fucking
that it's
bad.
because he wants to introduce new music to his young and impressionable fans.
The soundtrack has always been a cornerstone to the series. How do you balance like the classic nostalgia of the soundtrack as well as giving the opportunity to new artists?
Just what I think is fits and what I'm interested in. Let's keep it fresh. And also here's help discovering other music.
So Tony Hawk wants kids to discover Destroy Boys. What is that? Is that a band? It is a band.
they're all wearing masks.
And if a kid is playing this game and he hears Destroy Boys and he looks them up on YouTube, the first song you'll see is a song about wanting to be a boy.
Oh,
is this what Tony Hawk listens to?
Jesus fucking Christ.
He wants us to hear this instead of the original soundtrack? Not necessarily. Tony is a fair man, because Tony also said if you don't want to...
Oh my God. What the... Oh, man. This is the type of shit, you know? You're just looking at satanic shit. You just fucking know it, man. That was fucking vile. That was fucking vile, dude. Imagine calling yourselves Destroy Boys when you're trying to be a boy. Like, what fucking sense does that even make? It's retardation.
Listen to the new music. You can just listen to Spotify instead.
So, you know, just fire it up on your streaming service if you're so inclined.
Well, I guess it's my fault for expecting the music to be in the game.
No way, Quagmire. That's your responsibility now.
There's this vague rumor going around that all these songs were missing because of licensing issues. The issue is, somebody is selling something and they don't want to buy it. If you want to license a song, why don't you just, you know, pay the price that it costs to license it?
Don't be so naive, Quagmire.
Yeah, they can afford to, you know, pay for 400 goddamn employees or whatever the fuck for this fake studio, and you can't pay the licensing fees? How about you fucking fire 80% of the studio? I bet you can afford it.
The price these greedy musicians are charging for their music is probably too much. They make enough money as it is.
Well, what about the fact that Alien Ant Farm said themselves that they would like to be in the game, but nobody contacted them?
Is it a bummer that we weren't invited or they didn't include us? Absolutely.
And when Tony Hawk was asked about this, he didn't say that there was licensing issues.
I wasn't zeroing in on them per se. It was more that we're trying to make room for new acts and new songs as well, and not everything makes the cut.
And Tony specifically says that he personally has a significant role in choosing the music.
I did manage to throw a couple of bands in there that I was stoked, like Fontaine DC, Idols, an old one, X-Ray Specs.
X-Ray Specs? You probably haven't heard of X-Ray Specs. You might be under the impression that this is an up-and-coming punk band who deserves a shot in the spotlight. No, it's a black feminist from the 1970s.
In Tony Hawk.
Her song, Identity, was included on the soundtrack because it's such a good sounding song, isn't it? It's so good sounding.
I feel like, let's keep it fresh.
He also mentioned Fontaine DC.
Fontaine DC.
Just a couple kids from Dublin with 5.5 million monthly listeners. Oh, and another up-and-coming artist who Tony kindly gave a chance was a guy called Kendrick Lamar. Yes, he could really do with more publicity right now.
Here's help discovering other music.
You see, we think we want the songs we know and love, but actually, Tony says that we want him to help us discover new music.
Here's help discovering other music.
We need to use Spotify to listen to the old soundtrack.
You know, just fire it up on your streaming service.
And we need Tony Hawk's video game to help us discover new music, like the not very well-known band Idols.
Throw a couple of bands in there that I was stoked, like Fontaine DC, Idols. Here's help discovering other music.
Got it. Thank you, Tony. I'd love to say the madness ends there, but you'll never guess who made it onto the soundtrack.
Tony Hawk!
Yeah, into the Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 soundtrack.
It's Tony Hawk!
What are you reacting to? Are you reacting to me?
You just said, I will never guess who's on the soundtrack. I'm guessing it's Tony Hawk.
Well, you're right. It is Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk is on the soundtrack, singing in his own game.
Good for him. He's put in a lot of work over the years developing skateboard games. It's about time he kicks his feet up and sings a song for everybody.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da.
You know he's just a salesman. His name is on the box. He didn't make the game.
What?
The guy who's in charge of making this Tony Hawk game has never actually made a game before. He doesn't seem to know much about the Tony Hawk's games, and he doesn't seem to know much about games in general. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to introduce to you the game director of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Kurt Tillman!
He has helped design over 3 different games.
I'm wondering if there might be an early life section of some kind featured in this. I'm curious. Just not for any specific reason, of course, but...
Including Dora the Explorer. Dora saves the Crystal Kingdom.
Dora, look how green the grass is behind us. Maybe that's because we have the green crystal now?
And Nihao Kailan Super Game Day.
The game director! He's being interviewed by Andy THPS, a developer for the original Tony Hawk series created by Neversoft.
Mostly what I want to know about is online. Is there going to be a set custom go to custom restart feature that was in the old ones? Do you remember what that was? In the older games, you could select if you wanted to play 2v2, 4v3, or like, is there any sort of team play? No. Yeah. What about online server browser?
Not at this point.
Okay. And no modern games do server browsers because the corporation can't control the content you consume, and that would be a problem. That would be bad. It'd be really bad.
What's a new thing that you're going to talk about, or that you can talk about as of today, or like the past week? Is there anything new that you want to? What about? Can you comment on Mike Mullally? Mike.
I can't. He's not in the game.
Okay. Can you comment on New Game Plus or Game Plus mode, whatever it's called?
What's that?
Is it like a new set of goals after you complete the first set of goals?
It's an interesting idea.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can tell the director doesn't give a single fuck because this guy's like fucking with him now. Like, yeah, interesting idea. Because he knows he's untouchable. Why do you think that, why do you think that might be? Why do you think he might think there's no consequences for him failing here?
Letters?
That also an interesting idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but definitely if there's something that y'all want us for, like something that you're happy or excited to share about that I'm not thinking of. Can you mute certain people?
Sure can.
You can turn it down.
Mute them, block them, absolutely.
Okay. Report them?
Report them for sure.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
IronGalaxyStudios.com.
Wow. I looked at information about a game studio, and I didn't hear a single word about making video games.
These are the people who got a gay woman into a Tony Hawk's game. That's pretty funny, but also very important.
You know the original Tony Hawk's games already had a gay woman.
Rodney Mullen?
No, Alyssa Steamer.
Who the hell is that?
It's a queer woman who's been in the game since the first one.
I haven't been only gay. I've been hetero. I've been this, that, and the other. You know what I mean?
Whoa! How come I didn't know about this? This is really important.
You didn't know about it because it wasn't advertised. Can you imagine if they advertised the game back then the way they advertise it now?
The coolest game of 1999 has just arrived, and it's a really fun game. But more importantly, it features Alyssa Steamer, a queer skater who is in the game. She's a woman and she's not straight. And that's okay. Come and marvel at the facts that she's in the game. It's 1999.
Now available on Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color.
The schizo shit sometimes. Like, we'll get 10 minutes of fairly normal, high quality edited stuff. And then the schizo comes back and I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember why we're watching this whole thing. Like, yeah, that's more or less why I'm watching. I'm waiting for those moments so I can be like, the alien brain is leaking out. His other personality the meds are wearing off as he's editing, and he's just going off the rails. Wow, you notice anything about the studio? About the people here, the gamers, the devs? Yeah, I feel like there's something missing from this old school developer room. Reminds me of that Jason Schreier
games
post.
Companies were obsessed with making good games.
The Jason Schreier post that's like, and people want a game. I can't believe game studios like this still exist in whatever year he posted that in. You know, as he was rubbing his hands and his nose continually grew by the second as he was typing out his Twitter post. But yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, all the game studios, they looked like this and the games were good. Isn't that weird? What a coincidence. Anyway.
Instead of being obsessed with normalizing homosexuality, I think it's hilarious to imagine a bunch of gay guys frolicking around an office wearing dresses and gossiping about the latest dildo. But I'm not so narrow-minded to think that this is some great big conspiracy to normalize gayness. Gay people are perfectly comfortable with their place in society. They know as well as anybody that being straight is normal, and being gay is an abstraction of the usual. If being gay were the usual, it would be counterintuitive to the survival of our species. Everybody knows that. But being gay and being part of the LGBTQIA+ community are two very different things. Sexuality and identity are separate. A person's sexuality is inside. It cannot be seen. However, a person's identity is both inside and outside.
What the fuck is happening?
It is the complex interplay between how an individual sees themselves and how they are perceived by others. A gay guy's sexuality is not his identity. The LGBTQIA+ community claims that they are protecting sexuality, but the LGBTQIA+ community controls people's identities. The community prescribes morals and ethics, making clear distinctions between allies and enemies. If you question the community, you will be punished. Your allies will say mean things to you, and it will not be very nice. You are gay! You are a gay man! You like to have sex with men! Do you believe that you're being hunted by dark forces which threaten your safety? Do you believe that you're downtrodden because of your sexuality? Do you believe that you are being targeted because of who you are on the inside and not because of some obnoxious gay identity that insists upon itself? Do you know how crazy you sound? Do you know how crazy you sound right now? Anyway, I learned all that from an episode of Rick and Morty, so take it or leave it, I guess.
Wow. Okay.
This is even more based than the time I watched Message from a Lesbian.
I'm glad
when
we
a
have
culture is created around the idea that you shouldn't.
I'm glad, you know, there's so much Family Guy in this fucking video. I'm like, where are all the Family Guy references? Here we go. We finally got a cutaway gag, an hour and 10 minutes in.
Care what other people think of you. It sounds really good in theory. Just be yourself, live your life, don't worry about anyone else's opinions. But when you take this ideology to an extreme, you end up with people naked on the street. It's this exact disregard for the public opinion that damaged our reputation. I say we have a responsibility to show the public that we want to act equally, be treated equally.
This thing has a stronger jawline than like 95% of shit.
And don't expect any special treatment. The LGBT movement started out as simple as wanting everyone to mind their own business about what was happening in our bedrooms. And yet now everyone's yelling from rooftops, look at what I do in my bedroom. You lost the plot. And we lost the public when LGBT became more associated with degeneracy than it did with equality.
All of this is fascinating stuff, but what does this have to do with the game? The game?
What are you talking about?
What game? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yeah. Yeah, Tony Hawk's unusual amount of homosexuals. What's the deal with that? Okay, I'm gonna tell you the answer to everything. I'm listening.
Here we go.
Why is Iron Galaxy so diverse? Why was the Tony Hawk series ever remade at all? Why did Activision make any single one of these unusual creative decisions? The answer to everything is always money. Oh, I knew you were gonna say that. Businesses with a market value of $74
definitely what I was saying
don't
for
get
sure.
there through kindness and love. You get there by selling as many products to as many people as possible. Activision has no ethics. They're not for anything. They're not against anything. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel. Activision is an emotionless corporation. Their only objective is to always have money coming in, and for it to always be more money than last year. Continuous growth forever.
Okay, but what about all this LBGQ stuff?
It generates money.
But how does gayness
that's
make
not
money?
true, though.
It helps you sell more products to more people. The LGBTQ community is an identifiable group of consumers. Represent them in your products and you've got more consumers.
Okay, well, where does this... I'm curious, is he going to give a strong take on anti-woke movement not having any effect when there's like countless video games at this point that have bombed for being, we'll just say, unattractive to general audiences? That'd be, I guess, a vague way of putting it. But all this gay shit has quite literally, you know, off-put a significant amount of the gaming audience by now, which is evident by how many bombs there have been. So I don't think this is true.
Iron Galaxy didn't promote their equal rights employment. All they would have to be judged by is their terrible, terrible track record, and they would be out of business years ago.
We're over 350 people.
Well, yeah, doesn't that just... that's kind of the point. This is a perfect example. This lost money. This did not make money. This had woke shit in it. It did not make money. It bombed terrifically.
And they would be out of business years ago.
We're over 350 people, but 145 people were just added this year. We actually just went through a transaction as well. So we have a large investment from a private equity firm.
Games publishers want you to think that diversity is always good. Because if diversity is always good, and their games are always diverse, then their games are always good. The people with money in this world don't care about artistic achievements. They have no interest in financing a wacky, subversive piece of art. The people with money want to force consumers to eat shit and to thank them for providing it. The reason Iron Galaxy has 20 web pages about the sexual orientation of their employees, that's because they don't want to be seen as a game studio. They want to be seen as an equal rights employer. They emphasize their...
Yes, and why is that? ESG score, because of that funding from the private firm, which was Vanguard, which you brought up earlier in the video. And yes, the individual employees are doing that for virtue signaling reasons. But I mean, broadly, they're doing that because of a social credit score.
Diversity, because they want investors to know that they are not artists.
Yeah, investors.
They
exactly.
won't have any crazy ideas when it comes to making games. Iron Galaxy is cooperative and fully committed to lowering the standards of games. Publishers and their investors do not care about good customer experiences. They don't gather around the boardroom and say, oh, you know what? The fans are really gonna love this one. They just want your money. If selling games requires you to tap into the collective consciousness and create art that speaks to people on a deep level, you can't be certain that you'll get that right every time. And more so, you can't continue to make every product better than the last one forever. But you can force people to think that your games are always good. That way, you can reliably create infinite products without needing to take risks.
You know, you say all of this stuff as if it's been proven by scientists, but it hasn't been proven by scientists. So how am I supposed to know if this is true? And that also makes me think, if this is true, then how come I've never heard about this on the news?
They're talking about it on the news right now.
Family Guy News Network.
Hello, my name is Tom Tucker, and this is breaking news! So there's this company, right? And it's called BlackRock, and it's worth over $151 billion. That's a lot of money, right? So basically what happens is BlackRock owns a lot of companies, and if the companies don't do what BlackRock says, then BlackRock stops giving them money.
News Network.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going live to Larry Fink, the owner of BlackRock, and I think we should all have a good listen to what he has to say.
Family Guy. You now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of.
You know, even though I've seen this clip 500 times, it's just like every time. Yes, we will force behaviors. You will do what we tell you to do. You do not have a choice. We will create the world that we want, and you will do nothing. You will own nothing and be happy. Though the be happy was a lie. But you will own nothing. And you will continue, you know, being a cog in the machine.
Diverse employment this year, and what we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
we're doing the same thing.
And so it's just you have to force behaviors, and if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted, and that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. We're going to have to force change.
Now we're gonna go to a press release from Orange Galaxy Studios.
I just find it like I don't know why he's doing this voice. That's nothing like how the fucking news guy sounds on Family Guy. Like it's weird.
Galaxy Studios spoke to the newspapers because the CEO wanted to say this one specific thing. Through a focus on our people and DEIA, we are proud that we have successfully enhanced our diversity figures. Okay,
oh, it's
so
supposed to be grade A under A, but why? What's the joke?
At BlackRock,
why is it? Why grade A under A?
Gender or race, or just any way you want to say the composition of your team. If you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted, okay?
And now, we're gonna read that statement again from Orange Galaxy. We are proud that we have successfully enhanced our diversity figures. And now, back to Larry Fink.
We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year. If you don't achieve these levels, you're going to be impacted.
That's this guy on Chudcast. Yeah, I mean,
that's about it for the news today.
I'm not against it. I'm certainly not against it. He definitely seems like he'd be pretty interesting to talk
I'm starting to think that you might be right. I can see now the insidious profit-driven incentive structures for mass-producing corporate products. It's all just a numbers game. It's the essence of late-stage capitalism. But hey, I'm just hoping they remake Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2. I know they didn't get it right this time, but if we give them another chance, they might remake the game.
This video really does hit on pretty much every thought I've had, where it's like, yes, people they'll buy the shit game, admit that it's shit, and be like, well, they should still remake the other ones. They'll get it right next time. It's like, what? You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
Games that were actually old enough to remember.
You are the reason we cannot have nice things. You are blinded by nostalgia.
Maybe I am maniacally obsessed with the past. Or maybe I'm just an emotionally sensitive guy. Maybe I want to spend my life having positive thoughts. I get that, small dude. But you can be critical and still enjoy things. I would say that you get a deeper sense of satisfaction when you do find great things.
Being critical does not mean you're a hater. It just means you have an informed opinion. I am not critical because I am unhappy. I am critical because I know ways in which things could be better.
Yeah, but you guys who notice the badness in things only seem to be happy every now and then. I want to be happy all the time, every single day. Is that really so much to ask?
That truly is the normal fag subconscious, is it not? They don't vocalize those thoughts, but holy shit, is that exactly what it feels like when they hype up every fucking release saying, I want to be happy all the time. It's like, yeah, you're a grown-ass man. You're not fucking 10 years old. You fucking idiots. God damn, I hate you. I hate you all.
Is that so unreasonable?
Yes.
That is unreasonable.
Yeah,
well, if I can't be happy every second of every day, then what's the point in living at all? Look, I'm aware of the unimaginable evil that goes on in our world, but I still see beautiful things. A team working together towards a unified vision is beautiful.
Designing a system of controller inputs that entertains people for years. That's crazy, man. And there will be more happiness in the world if more people know about great art and more people know how to create it. That's why it's so important to have great works out there that are accessible for people, that people can see, so that they can see it and be inspired to make other great things. Everything that exists now is inspired by the thing that came before it. It's all building on top of each other. You want to be inspired by things that are exceptional, because that's the level that you work towards. That's the bar that you set for yourself. Put the time into learning the rules.
You know,
and eventually...
given the level of detail in this video, I'm wondering if picking Dark Souls 2 was intentional as well. You know what I mean? Is he one of those? Is one of you guys? Dark Souls 2 is actually the best one.
You earn the right to break the rules. That's when you can create something new that features your personality and your unique style. You have to work for it. Art is a conversation that's been evolving for thousands of years, and it's up to you to figure out how to contribute meaningfully to that conversation. That's why I think every remake is an artistic disaster. Remakes don't have an original idea, they're creatively redundant, and they're not even competently made. The people responsible for this product are not masters of the craft, and they don't respect the craft. And because this is what's being pushed out there, young people now are going to see this.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 isn't a faithful remake, and that's okay. I mean, this is a small YouTuber, but still, why is that okay? Why is that okay? Why is that okay? Why is it okay for a remake to be inferior to the original? Why the fuck is that okay? What is wrong with you? Why do you need to say that? You're only trying to convince yourself and to justify the money you wasted buying it.
That's going to be their standard. They're not even going to know what the original standard was. That does nothing for the progression of the medium. It doesn't inspire people. It does not create new masters of the craft. And if this does inspire people, that's an even bigger tragedy. And some people will say, it's just a remake, it's not an actual game. But these games are not clearly advertised as remakes. The artwork just has the original game's title in full. It doesn't say remake. You can easily play this without ever knowing there's another version. People who defend remakes will often say it's about the technology. But only a fool thinks that technology determines great output. Everyone has access to a pen and paper, but few people can write a classic novel. It's not about the technology, it's about the person using it. The brilliance of these games is that they created a fully realized idea, an idea that resonated with tens of millions of people despite having so-called outdated technology. The shame of this modern remake is that they can't even come close to that level of creative success, despite having so-called advanced technology. Forbes magazine reviewed the new Tony Hawk's game, and I think their conclusion says it all. Don't think, just play.
Don't think, just play. Wow, that's pretty shameless.
True that, fellas, true that. All right, I am hungry. How about we order some Taco Bell and watch the Minecraft movie? What do you say, guys? Come on. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking do this thing.
Did you not listen to a single word that we said?
Honestly, no. That's it for today's episode of Family Guy.
God damn, dude. God damn. That was some serious schizo Kino. This has... Why does this have that many dislikes? What the fuck you... For what? Oh, maybe the political commentary? Like, are you fucking... Fuck you. Whoever disliked this, I'm burning them alive. I'm throwing them... We're just gonna have a big old bonfire for all 416 people. Anyway, it's past 3 a.m. I'll just read the super chats and end the stream. I know, I was originally gonna plan... Fuck it, I'll give this guy a subscribe. Fuck it, I'll sub. I know you guys said he does, like, Family Guy YouTube poops or something, but if he does more like schizo review shit like this, I absolutely watch it.